Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
Kansas defeats Tennessee in the third place game. Look, a bounce back game that I think was much needed from Kansas. And if you listened to Hunter Dickinson's post game interview in the court, there was a look in this man's eyes that was like, yeah, we needed this one. And I haven't always seen that from him through the course of his career. They get it, a 69-60 victory over Tennessee. Dickinson was phenomenal. 20 rebounds from the Kansas big man, 17 points to go with it. And ultimately in this one, Kansas got some help from guys they haven't gotten help with in all of their games this season. They had a little more production from the bench. McDowell with 7 points and 2 threes. Furphy came in 11 minutes. He didn't miss a shot from the floor. It just felt to me like the depth that wasn't there in some of their losses had some positive moments in this game. RC, did you see that tonight?
They need their bench because that's where their perimeter shooting is. And like tonight, they only made 4 threes, and 3 of those 4 came from the bench. Like that starting lineup, we joked about this at the Champions Classic. Dwayne Harris is making 5 threes a game. I mean, he may not have another game this season. He steps up when they need it, and he's a gamer. But this team needs to, you were always in a game with them because it's a battle of who controlled the paint. This was a rock fight from the beginning, and Kansas was just a better team. One, because they had a closer in Hunter Dickinson. He was the best player on the floor. I thought that was the difference between these two teams.
Yeah, they're like on paper, it's very fascinating to step back broadly and look at this team because I think Kevin McCullough has been as good as you could possibly imagine coming into this season. He's made the jump forward. Hunter Dickinson is who he is. He's an All-American level big. We knew that. DeJuan Harris has some ups and downs, but there's not a better floor general other than Tyler Kolek in the country, in my opinion. It really comes down to, are there going to be other guys who step up? And tonight, at least in the front court, KJ Adams did. 13 points, 4 rebounds to go with it. He was on the floor for 34 minutes. And to me, he is one of the swing pieces here because the rest of Kansas's guys are very inexperienced. KJ Adams, we know he's tough. We know he's an athlete. We know he's physical. And tonight the production came with it. Did you like what you saw from KJ tonight, Tyler?
I did. But to your point is I like KJ Adams for what he is. I don't think he's going to be a focal point of anybody's offense. I think what he does is he does a lot of dirty work. He gets offensive rebounds. He fights. He battles. He does things like that. But those are winning plays. And a lot of times that doesn't show on the stat sheets. But also the thing for Kansas, I think Hunter Dickinson is playing much better now than he was at Michigan. I mean, this guy comes into Bill Self's offense and just right away he looks like a calmer player. He actually looks like he's expanded his game. He looks comfortable on the top of the key. Also, I think he's gotten much better, more confident at the three-point top of the key shot, which is big for them. But, RC kind of said that their depth for Kansas is a concern, and it is where their shooting, happens to be. But you've got to play your bench in non-conference games, especially early in the year, to expect them to have an impact later on down in the year. So I think that's smart by Self trying to get his bench more involved, and you're seeing the production with it. That's going to be key for them.
Tyler, I want to ask you. Go ahead, RC.
Go ahead. No, I was getting ready to say, in their starting lineup, they only shot like 5 or 6 threes. The starters did, and Hunter Dickinson took 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just don't. That's hard to do. Like, he's the best three-point shooter in their starting lineup.
I know, but I like the top of the key three-pointer for the big man. I think that can be a great tool, and he's added it to his game. But again, you pull Hunter out from the three-point line. I mean, from the paint. I'm not a big fan of taking your best big and spreading them out behind the line, but in a way, it's kind of ancient basketball, and I'd like to see it working a little bit, but I'm not sure how sustainable that is in the modern day. I agree with you, RC.
I want to ask you this, Tyler, because I'm fascinated by the psychology of this whole experiment in the transfer portal era. I am so familiar with Hunter Dickinson and his team struggles. I'm a Michigan fan. I watched it for 3 seasons, right? I saw him constantly produce. This isn't any Hunter bashing. This is truly I want to respect someone who's lived it. I thought Hunter was fantastic his entire tenure in a Michigan uniform. I thought the surrounding pieces really left a lot to be desired, and it wasn't the perfect fit. I thought it made a lot of sense for Hunter to leave. In fact, I speculated it would happen. It did happen. I'm happy for him. He got the bag, right? It worked out. I find myself almost kind of sad for him that he has landed in a spot that has a lot of the same issues he transferred away from. Like this team does not have enough shooting. He's playing full time, 34 minutes tonight from a 4 that can't shoot. He's playing with a point guard who doesn't want to shoot. So that was such a large issue for him at Michigan. Was he was facing double and triple teams, and nobody respected the perimeter game. And if you want to go further than just the shooting, like it was an issue last year that Michigan was playing 4-on-5. I mean, call it what it is. Whoever Michigan was playing at power forward was not a high caliber Big Ten level starter. And I think Kansas has some of those issues right now. Outside of KJ Adams and the big 3, I don't think they have a 5th guy who is ready. So from my perspective, I'm kind of baffled that he willingly chose to enter into another situation in a roster like this. And I'm curious to you, Tyler, as a guy who went through this at the highest level in college, how much does fit with personnel truly matter? Because your final years when you were championship level good, you had talent and fit. You had all of it. Earlier in your career, I'm curious if you would say that you noticed a difference fit-wise that may have affected both the team and your individual performance.
Well, first of all, I don't think there's, you can make an argument that Bill Self is the best, one of the best big man coaches out there in college basketball right now. I think his high-low offense and the freedom he gives his bigs is special. All that in itself is appealing to go to Kansas. But I don't think Kansas, the way you just described them, I think, McCullough to me he is a very good player, extremely talented. And I know you're talking about the lack of depth, but I think this team for Kansas, even with their lack of depth, I think they're a contender. I do. I believe that. And I think Bill Self can get it done. I mean, Harris was Defensive Player of the Year last year in the Big 12. They're going to have to find shooting some way. I mean, I don't know if you can build some guys up with getting them minutes and also getting them confidence and, kind of allowing them to make mistakes and continue to play them. But, I think Kansas is an appealing place, obviously, but I don't think Hunter looked into it and thought that I'm not sure I can win at Kansas. I'm sure Bill Self had a way of telling him, if you come here, we can be a championship team. And so I think that was appealing to him in some capacity. But, I mean, Hunter's a different player to me. I think he's playing much better than he did in Michigan. And like I said earlier, I'm a big guy on fifth-year guys. I think, fifth-year guys are extremely valuable and veteran players. So, obviously, that experience helps.
Thank you for watching The Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.